Alright, so I often get asked why I don't use woks in my videos, despite having an Asian food channel. And well, the simple fact is the average person doesn't own a wok, and I like to keep my recipes as user-friendly as possible. But, just for you and just for today, I'm actually going to use a wok. So today, He's using a wok? Never uses a wok. One second. He's actually using a wok? He's actually using a wok.
Sick! He's using a wok!
So today I'm gonna show you how to make jjajangmyeon, or black bean noodles, using, well, a wok. I'm using this pretty standard carbon steel wok. It's relatively inexpensive and will last you near a lifetime. Before we get into it though, let's talk garnish. Thinly sliced and julienne zucchini or cucumber is the garnish of choice for jjajangmyeon. But my weird brain was like, what if we pickled them instead? I actually prefer it this way now, as I think the acidity and crunch balances the fatty and rich sauce quite nicely. Throw the zucchini into a small bowl and generously season with kosher salt. Toss to combine and allow it to sit for at least 10 minutes. Drain the excess water, then hit it with some sugar and enough vinegar to cover. They'll be ready to go by the time you're done cooking. So jjajangmyeon is a pretty onion-heavy dish. It's actually regarded as one of its best features, and you don't need to do anything complicated with them either, just give them a chop. We're also going to need the trinity of Asian cooking. Green onion that I'm just quickly slicing, along with minced garlic and ginger. I've also got a medium-sized zucchini that I'm just going to cut into quarters. You don't want to go too small with it since it cooks pretty quickly and can get mushy, and nobody wants that. The last vegetable we'll need is some cabbage. You could use kimchi in place here, but the black bean sauce has so much going on already, I don't think it adds anything to the dish. For the pork, I'm going with a piece of belly. You definitely want to trim off any excessive fat, but since jjajangmyeon is so rich, the fattiness plays really well with it. I'm cutting it into small bite-sized pieces. You can pretty much just rough chop everything in this dish. Precision here is not necessary. So, black bean paste. It's a fermented soybean and wheat paste that traces its origins to northern China. While the Chinese version is very watery and saucy, this is the complete opposite. Dry noodles are totally fine here, but I'm going with these fresh ones from my local Korean grocer. Set a large pot of water to boil over high heat. While it's not necessary, having one of these noodle baskets is great. A colander works fine though too. Since these are a pretty thick cut noodle, they'll take about 6 or 7 minutes to get nice and tender. Don't get rid of the noodle water, as we'll use it to thicken the sauce later on. Then strain and add to a large bowl of cold water. This step is entirely optional, but will result in a tender but firm noodle with lots of chew. My gas range came with this handy wok attachment, but it's not at all necessary. Heat the wok over medium-high heat, and once it starts smoking, hit it with a decent amount of a neutral oil like canola. Using paper towel, carefully wipe the entire surface of the wok. This is going to give it a non-stick layer. You'll notice it's smoking pretty heavily now, but as soon as you add more oil, the temperature will drop slightly and it'll stop. You want about a ½ inch worth of canola oil, because before we start cooking, we're going to fry the black bean paste to give it a toasted and nutty flavor. Turn the heat down to medium for this and cook for about 5 minutes. You don't want to go too hot or too long because since the black bean paste is, well, black, it's difficult to tell if it's burning. Remove the fried paste, leaving the remaining oil in the wok. Then return the heat to medium-high and add the pork belly. Season with kosher salt and continue to stir fry until the pork just starts to brown and is cooked through, about 4 to 5 minutes. Toss in the aromatics and green onion and fry for another minute. Then add the chopped onion and green cabbage. We're not going to add the zucchini just yet since they'll take about half as long to cook. Once they've reduced in size and the onions are just turning translucent, you can throw in the zucchini. Continue to stir fry for another minute before adding the black bean paste. It'll take a good minute to get it fully mixed in since it's so thick. Add about 1.5 cups of the reserved noodle water and allow it to simmer until it's reduced and thickened, or passes the spoon test. Season generously with kosher salt and a teaspoon of sugar. Then bust out your biggest, fanciest bowl. Rinse the noodles off in very hot tap water for a few seconds to warm them back up and add to the bowl. Spoon a good amount of the sauce to one side and top with the pickled zucchini. And since I bought some chili threads that I keep forgetting about, I'm gonna throw some of those on too. But you could use a pinch of gochugaru instead. And that's it. Jjajangmyeon, black bean noodles. Take a moment to admire the beauty of this dish before shoving some chopsticks in there and making a gigantic mess. If you're not a fan of heat, then this Korean dish is right up your alley. It's all about that rich, savory, umami-packed flavor. Plus, they're fun as hell to slurp. If you like my content and are interested in supporting my channel, you can check out my Ko-fi page. I'll leave a link in the description. Thanks for watching, and stay awesome.